Good morning, everybody. I have this morning on our audio and video podcast, Stephanie Manuel. She's the owner of Brand Smoothie. And what's really interesting about Stephanie is that she actually redid all of my branding. So if you're following me on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook and you see all those little pretty pictures and all the branding that we've put behind it, from the imagery to the fonts to the colors, Stephanie did all of it. So we are launching something really exciting later on this week where we're going to be offering different branding packages to you so that you can do the same thing. And I thought it would be a really great time for us to kind of sit with Stephanie and let her talk about the importance of branding, why it's so important for your brand, for you to have a brand that's created specifically for you and not just kind of an out of the box something that somebody put together for whatever reason. It needs to really speak and breathe and be you. So Stephanie, please introduce yourself to everybody and let us know who you are, where you live, because that's a little bit unique, and what are you passionate about and why branding?
So, hello everybody. So I'm Stephanie and I live on a tiny island in the Indian Ocean, and that island has been like my inspiration since I'm also a nature photographer, so all of this I bring along together into my branding process. So I've been working in the branding field for like 6 years for a spa and wellness company, and I've discovered branding in another way. Branding linked to colors, therapy, wellness, massage and all that. And it's the connection between the colors, between the visual communication and how people feel and how we want to make people feel when we give these treatments or we talk about what they're going to get from the spa. I think when people hear about spa and wellness, they definitely know what it means. But it's this branding too. It's like, you know the word and you know the feeling linked to the word. And this makes you get into the right mood. So having got that experience, branding linked to the spa, linked to color meanings, linked to positive feelings, I brought this as really going deeper into the person's story, because whoever wants to start a project, it's about being able to get the right message from that creative mess. It's a good mess, because when we want to start something new, we start getting all these ideas, but we don't know where to start and what to keep and what to bring forward, even though it can sound like not really important or something too personal. But then it's about the way to present it to people so that the person who are like-minded and with whom it will resonate, then it will really be specific. So having worked for that spa company for 6 years, at some point I decided to go beyond it and follow my passion, which is photography. So with that background and experience in branding and cosmetics and therapy and all that, I wanted to put it aside and then pursue my own passion about photography. And now today I can say that all these, like my journey from the work experience as a brand supervisor and then as a passionate photographer, now I can connect all these dots together, and they are even more powerful tools that I can offer to people in the branding process. So I understand how to speak with colors, and colors are part of photos, and colors are part of graphics. So everything, all these tools put together, help the person to really reveal his or her own story, and then I help to get all these elements together and then bridge that gap from the person's story, what she wants to put out into the world, and how the people on the other side will receive it and will understand it, and then will connect.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in here and elaborate a little bit. So I came to Stephanie and I said, I feel kind of like a hot mess. I have all these different pieces of my business where I represent clients into Walmart and I represent clients into Amazon, and I want to teach and speak and train and help educate my clients so that I'm not having to do all the work for them forever. Eventually, I want to give them a toolkit where they can learn how to do these different pieces themselves. And so Stephanie looked at my business and said, okay, we need to have kind of an umbrella company that is you. And then underneath the umbrella, we have growth spurt sales and marketing. And then we have this teaching training side of your business. And all of the branding is going to mesh in a way all together. So not that it has the same fonts and not that it has the same colors, but that it all works together. And so I had her brand my growth spurt business, which I ended up not using very long because things changed pretty quickly while we were in the middle of it. And I ended up merging with 5G sales. But I do have a really beautifully branded company on the side that if I ever decide one day I want to pick up and do something else with it, I've already got that finished. And then I've got this really, really beautiful Jennifer Kalo Ruskin brand that she's created for me. And you guys can see a little bit behind me. Some of the colors that Stephanie had me work with are right behind me. And so she teaches you how to use the colors that she brings back to you in this like kind of style guide, and then how to use them in your office and in your branding as you move forward. Stephanie, can you walk us through that process that you had me walk through? I was so impressed with how put together everything was, very timelined out, that I know as a right brain marketer, probably you need space to let the branding come together. And as a left brain person, and most of the people that you'll work with me are very like, okay, we've got to timeline it out. I need to know the deadlines, and we need to, and you put it all together in a way that allows you to have space to be creative, and then allows the left brain person a little bit more like rigidity and knowing that it's going to be done one day. So can you kind of walk us through that process?
So it's true that when you came to me and you asked me, can I start to brand the first company that you have created? And when you told me about you have this other bigger project and things are starting to come into place, but you want to know what to focus on, like you feel a little bit overwhelmed, you want to do all these, but where to start and what to focus on so that you get things done. Because that's the thing, when you have an idea, you have a project, and all these ideas in your head, you want to get them out, but in the right way, and wanting to do things in the right way and to get them out. Some people, like me too, like we want to have them perfectly sorted out before getting them out. And that's where I come in, because we do feel a little bit blocked and a little bit tense to say, okay, I need to get everything right before announcing it and getting out. But where do I start? And it's like a circle. So when you came to me for Growth Spurt, I was like, okay, and then there's this other bigger project. But I've been in that process too for my own brands. Because as I've mentioned, like I've been into branding. This is my work experience, and it connected to my passion, which is about photography. And later on, it's about teaching. So all these discoveries on my side, and then now I can connect them all. So it's the same thing for you. You had that these ideas, and you have these skills to put forward the first business, and you wanted to add something to it. But you wanted to do it in an easy and meaningful way for other people and also for you. And now, even though you have been able to successfully sell it and then link to something else, the thing is that this is your creation. This is a portfolio item so that you can send people to and say, I've started there, and you see where it can go. So this is a big thing. And it's something that you start to feel like, okay, you are validating your own creativity. If you can do this, then you can step forward. And then you can teach people to do it too. And when we work on your own brand, it's about really getting to understand what's your story. Because the fact that we've started on the first business that you already have, that you've been managing so well, it was like our first connection, and you telling me your story. And you having these new things coming together for the second part of the story. So we need to start somewhere, and I need to hear. And when I get the story from your side, because you have the 100% information, let's say, about, you have that idea, you have that skill, and you have that vision. But when you communicate to people about that vision, people can see your skills. People can see your ideas. People can see your previous projects. But they don't necessarily understand the whole vision with all these connected. Mm-hmm. So that's why we need to dig deeper and be able to get that vision translated in a way that people will get it, and you also will get clear about, okay, these connected together will take me there. So we bring all this together to be able to speak about the vision more than 10%. Not maybe the 100%, because this will be on your side and you'll be putting it together, but progressively we'll be able to translate it in a way that people will understand. So that's why we go through keywords. You telling me your stories, I pick up the keywords. And the keywords are linked to the emotion, are linked to the feeling, are linked to things that we start to visualize. And then we start speaking about images. And the images for you is you also linked to the keywords that you're starting to put forward and understand more. It's about taking these pictures and being able to translate, okay, you can see this beautiful flower, white, and I don't know why this color really inspired me. But each color, I won't be going into the details of colors and therapy and all that, but they've got a kind of vibration. We do feel it. When you look at a sunset picture, you feel something. You don't feel like, oh, tired. You feel like, oh my God, uplifted, and it's beauty and it's all that. So these colors speaks to you, but you might not exactly describe, how you feel when you look at it, because it's linked to one of your memories, something that you felt when you've seen it for the first time. So it's about translating words connected to visual, images, colors, and then I bring it all together, and it's linked. Since your story is about the keywords, then everything is connected. Mm-hmm. When we start speaking about images then. And then came the graphic process about putting all these elements together and designing something that looks like your signature visually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so to give an example of what Stephanie's talking about, when you go through the keyword process, let's start with the first piece of this. So she gives you a survey to fill out, and it's really in detail. So take some time to really fill it out and have a cup of tea and really dig deep, because I remember when I was doing it, I was doing 25 other things at the same time, and I'm like, when is the survey going to end? My type A was like not happy with the survey. But it was so vitally important because Stephanie could dig really deep and say, okay, so she wants to empower women or empower others and help them create a peaceful life. And then with each keyword of empower and peace and whatever that was, it created the color scheme that we were going to use, and then also even helped craft what signature and what fonts we used. And so we found a really beautiful font that had the word empower in the meaning of the font. So I love what Stephanie's talking about, that colors and imagery and fonts, they have energy. And so you can't take a pre-branded box. Let's just pretend like you're buying off the internet and you're saying, I want a brand, and I really like horses, so I'm going to use brown, and like whatever weird things that kind of come together. You can't use that because it's not you. It's not authentically you, and it's not authentically what the message that you want to send out into the world is. And when you're working with Stephanie, she digs so deep into that process that she creates exactly who you are in branded form. And it's just incredible. I remember at one point I was feeling a little bit stuck, and I think Stephanie was feeling stuck too. So I'm in the middle of creating these 2 big Pinterest boards, one for each brand, and we're trying to make sure that the brands feel different. And I'm just like, I don't know. I love all the colors. And so Stephanie's like, okay, take a breath, go to your coffee cup cabinet, and I want you to open the door and take a picture for me and show me the colors. And I thought, well, this is a really weird process, but I trust it. I trust her. And I found that, you know, when you choose a coffee cup for yourself, you are really like, it's an innate thing where you're drawn to a color for a certain reason. And so I had some really pretty blue, just like the flower vase behind me. I had some of that, like that blue-green seafoam kind of thing going on. And I might have had like a rust red, which we ended up using in the growth spurt branding, that ended up translating into a brick wall when we did the photo shoot. So it's just beautiful the way she interconnects everything and makes it authentically yours. And then as you use the branding moving forward, you feel powerful and confident in the messages that you're sending. And then Stephanie, I want to talk a little bit about magnetism. You know, we talked a little bit about energy. We probably don't want to get too woo-woo here. But when you create a brand that's authentically you, and Stephanie helps you craft it with colors and fonts and feels and all that sort of thing, you become a magnet for the clients that you want to attract, for the people that you want in your life. And so, Stephanie, I'd love for you to talk a little bit about how that works. And then maybe I can chime in with some examples of how it's working for me.
Yes, well, it's interesting how you mentioned about magnet, because when I've been working with my clients, the most interesting part was when I was doing because all through the creative process, after you sent me the answers to the question of the questionnaire, and then I get the images that you've been pinning together, and I also do my own search as per the keywords. I do my own search of images that I think will speak according to the keywords that you've written in your answers. So it's not that I just take all the pictures that you've been pinning. And it's true also that I like to, because I get into the creative process and I bring things together. And sometimes I get like the most basic questions like, oh, do you have a favorite mug? What's the color of your favorite mug? Because you live with your brand every day. When you choose as an entrepreneur to start a business, to start a project, you live with the brand every day. And you want to feel good when you live with it. You don't want to feel like the pressure of, oh my God, I need to do something for men and I'll be having these things. But this is not me. You know, it needs to be you, and it needs to be you feeling at ease and good to live with your brand every day. It will speak for you. It will help you to communicate easily, but it's meant for you to feel good and confident. When you feel good, you feel confident, definitely. So when I ask these questions about personal things like, what do you like to drink? And what's your favorite flower or plant? Do you have it around you? Because you consciously or unconsciously do bring all these things together when you are working, when you are in your creative space. Bringing it.
Look, remember the succulents?
Yeah.
So we used a ton of succulents on my Growth Spurt brand. And she kept saying, what flowers do you have around? And I'm looking around and I have like literally 5 different succulents all around my house, in my office. And it was something that we brought in as an element into the brand, which was really fun.
Because this, exactly. It's about you. It's not like you are a lady and you want to work with women, or you want to work with men. You're not going to put flowers because you can't put flowers because of men. Yeah. But this is part of you. The main thing to understand is that brand is not 100% about the person who's creating the project. It's not 100% about the target, the ideal audience. The brand is supposed to help you to communicate 3 key messages. The first one is who you are, what you do, and what you do, it's about your service, it's about the passion, it's about the way you help people with your skills. And the third message, it's with whom you love working. Because we want to feel happy and we want to feel connected, and that the person to whom you're talking gets it. because this is how energy flows. You don't want to have a block each time you're trying to explain to somebody, but it's just not meant to be your ideal audience, and it's okay, because then it will mean that you will get more specific, and the person eventually will find somebody with whom his or her own taste will match. So that's the brand. It's about communicating these 3 key messages. So eventually, when you're creating a brand and your target audience is men, for example, or men and women, and then you'll be like, oh my God, I need to do it exactly for the woman. No. First, think about these 2 other messages. How are you going to communicate about them if you're just focusing on, I need to do it for women, these things. And when you mentioned being magnetic. Mm-hmm. The thing is that when I do the branding presentation, so I go into the creative process, and I'm not necessarily talking to the person during that, because I got all the elements and I start to work on it. I just get a sip of water. So when I'm into this, I have also questions in my head. Will it connect to the person when I present it? Will it match what she's expecting? Because everything is created. I'm not copying from somebody else, because the person told me her story. And I need to bring this forward as graphics. So when I did it, and then I'm ready for the presentation, and I do the presentation, a lot of time during the conversation, and I show the mood board and the color palette, and the person is like, you know what, just wait a minute. And she goes into another room and came back. I don't know why, but last week I bought these outfits and they match the colors in the mood board. And I'm like, okay. So when we start the process, you are ready and you are open and you attract the right things already. And then when we dig into the branding and I'm ready to present it, then the things connect together. That's how it's magnetic.
And it really does work. So I talk a lot about push-pull marketing. And I spent a lot of years pushing and pushing and pushing to try to get the clients that I needed and pushing things down people's throats. And to me, that's a really old school way of doing sales. What we're talking about here is pull marketing. It's attraction. It's magnets. And so when I'm branding for Growth Spurt and I've got all my little succulents and I'm attracting people that like succulents, that like green. I'm attracting people that like that vibe, that want to be outside. And it's this weird like subconscious thing. When I'm doing my Jennifer Kayla Ruskin stuff, let's grab some cute stuff. I'm attracting people that are into this, that say, oh, she's creative and innovative and fun and kind of girly. And whether it's a subconscious or a conscious thing, that's what they're seeing. That's what they're being attracted to. And so what's fascinating is, like I said, I've spent a lot of years doing this push marketing and force. That's a very like testosterone driven patriarchal male energy kind of thing. And so I've shifted in the last few years or so of pull. And so now I don't go looking for sales leads. I don't go hounding doors or calling people or emailing randomly. What I'm finding is, especially once we got this rebranded, Stephanie, is that I'm pulling and attracting all these different potential clients to me and through LinkedIn. So for me, the platform that works is LinkedIn. For Stephanie, it's probably, social media. It's probably Facebook. But for me, LinkedIn works. And so I'll wake up every morning and have, 2, 3, 4, 5 instant messages. Hey, I saw what you posted on LinkedIn yesterday, and I really feel like I jive with you. And I'd love to talk to you about, maybe representing my brand on Amazon. Or I'd love to talk to you about Walmart. I have a meeting coming up next month, and I'm going to be in Bentonville. And I think I like you. I think I want to have you represent my brand. And so we're watching this retail space especially it's really changing. It's no longer you call up a random person to get help. It's who does your heart connect with and who do you feel magnetized to? And that's the importance of branding. So like I mentioned, later on this week, we are going to be announcing a new branding program led by Stephanie and another gal named Ashton, who's local here in Northwest Arkansas. We're going to be interviewing her later on this afternoon. So after you hear Stephanie, you'll get to hear Ashton. And we're really excited about being able to offer the exact same thing that you guys seem to be magnetized with me, with this whole branding shoot and development of a brand that we did with Stephanie and with Ashton. We want to be able to offer that to you as well, and for a very affordable price. And you're going to get access to Stephanie and access to Ashton, or if you're not local to us, Stephanie will provide everything wrapped in a really pretty bow for you to go and deliver to a local photographer, where she'll say, here's the colors that you need to use, here's the outfits that I want you to wear, here's the background that you need to have, look for an office space, or look for a waterfront, or look for whatever that is, so that when you're finished, you have at least 6 to 12 months worth of content for you or your social media content provider to push out, so that every single piece of content that you're pushing is on brand and feels and resonates with you, so that you can begin magnetizing those clients, those buyers, whoever it is that you want to have into your life, magnetizing them to you. Stephanie, do you have any closing thoughts as we wrap this up?
Well, just that, be ready. You know, when you are ready, like we say, like when the student is ready, the teacher will come. And I'm sure that people who are watching and who feel that they are ready now to expand and to make things happen, then here we are. The teachers are here, and we are really looking forward to really offer you. I mean, branding cannot be a copy. It needs to be personalized in any way. So this is the thing that each of you are going to be able to reveal their story and reach out for the dream. That's it.
Oh, I love that. When the student is ready, the teacher will come, and the teachers are here and they're ready. So we look forward to working with you. We will have links posted below on our website and on our social media of how to get started in this branding program. And looking forward to meeting you. Stephanie's looking forward to meeting you, as is Ashton and anyone else that is going to be working with you down the line. So have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.